Hey, welcome to the Summit Host Hangout podcast where you'll learn how to plan, strategize, and launch your profitable online summit. No influencer status necessary. I'm your host, Krista from Summit in a Box, and today we are kicking off a short series about registering for your summit. Today, in episode 32, we're breaking that down to chat about the process of what it looks like once someone registers for your summit. So we're going to cover the pieces that your registration process should have in place, what the process looks like when an attendee registers, and some mistakes to avoid. Before we dive in, I have a free cheat sheet that goes along perfectly with this. It's called 19 Keys to a High Converting Summit Registration Page. In it, you'll find a checklist of each important piece to include for easy access, plus details on each of those items. To learn what to include on your high converting registration page, head to summithosthangout.com/registration. Let's start by talking about what to actually include in your registration process. What pieces do you need to keep in mind? And there are 5 things that I always like to think about. They are the registration page, the thank you page, the registration email sequence, the All Access Pass offer, and appropriate tagging and automation. And let's break those down and go through each of them in a little more depth. So first is the registration page. And this is, the first thing someone's going to see after they see a promotion for your summit in their inbox or on social media. Their first really strong impression is coming from this registration page. And I won't spend a ton of time on this here because our next episode is going to break down exactly what to include, and you can go grab that freebie I just mentioned. But this is not a place to just have like a short landing page with the fact that it's a summit and a button for them to sign up. Treat this almost like a course or service sales page. It doesn't have to be quite that long, but I want you to really think about the pain points and the benefits that are going to get your audience to want to register for this event. And that's really the most important piece, apart from actually being able to sign up, which means integration with your email marketing platform. So after someone signs up, they're going to be brought to the thank you page. And there are a couple ways that I've seen summits do this, but I very highly lean towards one. Let's start with the easier one though, and that is just that, a thank you page. Maybe a video of yourself thanking them for joining, telling them to go check their inbox for what's next. That is certainly an option. However, it is not what I recommend because your summit's income will soar if you instead make them a limited time offer of your All Access Pass on that page. So once they register, they're redirected to your All Access Pass sales page and you have some kind of special offer for them, whether it is a limited time bonus or a limited time discount, something they can only get if they act fast and make the decision to buy right then. And I talked all about increasing your All Access Pass sales with limited time offers in episode 10. So check that out if you haven't yet. But this is a really powerful way to get more bang for your buck when it comes to your summit and the registration process. But after someone registers, they're going to get your registration email sequence. And in episode 34, I'm going to bring on a guest to go more in depth on your registration email sequence. But this series of emails is meant to keep your audience engaged and increase engagement between the time they register and the time your summit begins. So give them a background of where the summit came from and how it's going to help them. Give them some looks at the details of the summit, like who's speaking and when, send them the schedule, send them little surprises to get them excited, whether it's a sneak peek at a presentation, early access to a presentation, a quiz, which is something I love to do. The purpose of this is to keep them engaged and hopefully make more sales of your All Access Pass. The fourth thing that's a part of this process is what we've talked about already, your All Access Pass offer. So you need to know if you're going to have any limited time offers after someone registers, if you're going to have a lower price before the summit starts versus during or after it. This is a piece you need to know ahead of time. And then the last part of your registration process is the appropriate tagging and automation in your email marketing platform. So when someone signs up for your summit, they should be tagged as registered, and they should not get your normal newsletters until after the summit is over. I'm actually on a email list right now for a summit that I signed up for, to stock, of course, and I'm getting her regular newsletters all throughout this, and it's just confusing, and it increases the likelihood that someone is going to just unsubscribe and not care about your summit at all. all. I'm actually still getting pitched to sign up for that summit, even though I'm already a part of it. So that's where this appropriate tagging and automation is so important. You want to keep that in mind. And then you also want to tag people once they purchase, so you're not continuing to pitch them if they've already purchased your All Access Pass. So keep those things in mind. Those are the big pieces of your registration process. So let's just talk through quickly what it actually looks like for an attendee when they register. They're going to start by landing on your registration page, which hits their pain points, speaks to the transformation they want to receive, and includes all of the important details on your summit. Again, you can go to summitHostHangout.com/registration for the 19 really important things you have to include on there. They're going to click a button to enter their information and then hit submit there to sign up and get their free ticket. At that point, they are registered, but then they're brought to a thank you page. This, like we talked about, shouldn't be a normal thank you page if you're trying to monetize here. Give them a special offer for your All Access Pass right off the bat. And like I said before, check out episode 10 for more information on limited time offers. It's a really great way to increase your results here. Once they land there, they're going to choose whether they want to purchase or not. But behind the scenes, they're being tagged as being signed up for your summit. So your email marketing system knows that they're signed up. At that point, they're going to get automatically added to your registration email sequence, and that first email is going out to them right away. And like we said, this is going to keep them thinking about your summit, remind them to purchase the All Access Pass if they haven't already. It's going to keep them engaged, and it's going to get them in your Facebook group where you can engage with them even more. So from an attendee standpoint, that's what the process should look like. I want to cover some mistakes to avoid before we wrap up here. And there are 4 that I see a lot that I don't want you to fall into yourself. First is selling your All Access Pass on the registration page itself. This is really tempting to do because I know monetizing is probably a big reason you're doing the summit. But the problem is with this, it splits the focus of the people registering. It confuses them. It forces them to go from deciding whether or not they're going to sign up to deciding whether to sign up, deciding whether to purchase, and deciding whether they should do both or just one. You're moving them from 1 question to 3, and we want to remove as many questions as possible. So goal number 1 is to get them signed up, and after that, you can worry about getting purchases, okay? So don't try to sell your All Access Pass on the registration page. The second mistake I want to talk to you about is something, again, we talked about a little bit before, but that is having the wrong positioning and trying to sell a summit on your registration page. I see so many summits where the positioning is just way, way, way off. People are not signing up for a summit. They're not going, oh my gosh, I love summits. I need to sign up for this, except unless they're me, of course. But they're signing up for a transformation. So think of your registration page like a shorter form sales page. Highlight their pain points, explain the benefits, show them that transformation. That's what's going to make your registration page more impactful. Episode 6 of the podcast covered positioning for your summit success. So check that out if you want more information there. But I really want you to focus on not selling a summit through your registration page. The third mistake to avoid is not having a registration sequence. Your registration email sequence is so powerful. It gives them really easy access to information about your summit. It introduces new audience members to you because remember, many of the people signing up have never heard of you before because they're coming from your speakers and affiliates. So this is your chance to introduce yourself to them. It's going to provide them with a ton of value and some quick wins to keep them excited. It's going to make sales of your All Access Pass for you, and it's keeping your attendees warm until the summit actually starts. This is especially important when you're opening up registration 2 or 3 weeks before the event begins. You don't want them to forget about signing up and getting your day 1 summit email and being like, who the heck is this person and why are they emailing me? I didn't sign up for this. You want to have that registration sequence in place. In 2 episodes from now, episode 34, we are going to have a launch copywriter come in to talk about all this. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. But for now, let's move on to this 4th mistake, which is, again, something I talked about, but I really want to highlight it, sending your regular newsletters. The people who sign up for your summit, whether they're already on your email list or whether they're new, should not get regular newsletters from you until the summit is over. They are way more likely to unsubscribe if they sign up for the summit and are all of a sudden getting hit with random information before it even begins, especially if they're new to you. So once someone registers, tag them as being registered and then leave them out of your regular newsletter list. You can rest assured that they're getting the registration email sequence you have set up. So they're not forgetting about you, but they're also not getting annoyed with information they don't want right now. So as a quick recap, after someone registers for your summit, they're going to get a great offer for your All Access Pass to get them when they're really already in a yes mood. And then you're going to send them great information until your summit begins. It's really as easy as that to explain, but I know there are a lot of moving pieces in the background. So your action step for today is to map out your registration process and take note of the important details from this episode that you really want to pay attention to. Thank you so much for tuning in today. For show notes and resources mentioned, head to summitHostHangout.com/032. In the next episode, we'll chat about what I include on my registration page, so be sure to tune in for that. Before you go or hit the next episode in your binge session, be sure to grab my 19 Keys to a High Converting Summit Registration Page cheat sheet. In it, you'll find a checklist of each important piece to include for easy access, plus details on each of those items. To learn what to include on your high converting registration page, head to summitHostHangout.com/register.